everyone, my name is Laura. I love to crochet, and in today's video I wanted to talk about the process of making the sweater that I'm wearing in a little bit less of a tutorial format and a little bit more of my thought process as I was making the sweater. I think while I was working on it, a lot of thoughts about why I craft and why I choose the projects that I choose kind of started to come up for me, and I wanted to share that with you and talk a bit about the creative process and feelings and art and all of that kind of good stuff while I show you how I made this sweater. So going back to the beginning when I started this sweater, it wasn't planned at all. Usually I have kind of a rough idea in my head of what projects I want to work on, what's coming up next, or I have yarns that I feel inspired by and I want to use, and that kind of informs what project I'm going to work on next. This one didn't happen that way. I was going through a little bit of a weird emotional time. I feel like just a lot of things in my life changed all at once, or felt like they were changing all at once, and a lot of it was happening outside of my control. It was like other people's choices, other kind of factors that I couldn't control, and I felt really kind of lost and confused, and I had no control basically. All of this stuff is happening, I don't get to be in control of any of it, and so I had this feeling of just a loss of control. So I one night was just sitting watching TV, wanting to craft like I usually do, and I remembered that I had the pattern for this granny square, and so I grabbed some yarn that I had laying around and a hook and made one of the granny squares. And something about this particular granny square really did something for me. In this kind of period of feeling out of control, working on this really tiny, really detailed granny square gave me a feeling of control back. It made me feel like I can do something really small, I can do something really tedious, and I'm so in control of what's happening as I crochet this granny square. And I got kind of obsessed, and not in a negative way, but I was just made a whole bunch of these squares all at once. I had made a dozen squares in 2 days or something like that, because it just felt so good. And as I was working on them, this kind of connection came to me of oh, I feel like there's all this change in the stuff that was out of control, and I feel a lot of control when I make these granny squares, and that's why I feel so called to work on this project. So kind of as that was happening, I was just having some more thoughts about why I pick the projects that I pick, why other people pick the projects that they pick, and how much our emotions influence our art, kind of whether we even choose that or not, and how much kind of subconscious stuff plays into the type of art that we make. And I know that can sound a little bit it's too deep, it's not like that, it's just string and a hook and whatever. But I think a lot of us that make crafts can see that connection and can tie the emotions to the output. One kind of example that comes to mind is I went to a quilting exhibit last year, and the quilts weren't just beautiful blankets, but they really represented moments in time and history. And whether that be the materials used, there were some Great Depression era quilts that were using rags and scraps of fabric, and that speaks to the kind of emotions of the time. Or there was one that was made in a Japanese internment camp, and it was all out of, I think it was cigarette fabric that came in cigarette cases, and that again shows you kind of a snapshot of the person that made it and the situation that they were in. I did take a video of when I went to this exhibit. If you want to check it out, I'll have it come up. It was one of my favorite vlogs I've ever made. I really got a lot out of that experience, but you can say that it's just crafts, it's just fiber arts, it's just whatever, but there will always be, I think, more than that. Whether it's materials, whether it's pattern, whether it's texture, whether it's shape, whether it's circumstance, whatever, there is something behind the things that we are creating. And so I just kind of wanted to put this out here as a reflection for myself and a reflection for you as well. If this isn't maybe a topic that you've pondered within yourself, I encourage you to take a look at the projects that you make and see if there's any connections between the types of pieces that you make and the way that you're feeling or the circumstances that you're in. I would love to know if anything comes to mind. Even for me, I think like when I am feeling really joyful, I love to use color and lots of different color and bringing them all together. I think that really reflects when I'm feeling joyful. I also think that when I'm feeling really anxious, I like to work on a project that's really repetitive. So something like this sweater, or I found knitting really nice for that because it's quite repetitive usually. And so I find that to be really helpful. And so there's just different kinds of like techniques, patterns, whatever, that come to mind when I think about my relationship to feelings and what I output from those feelings. And I think this ties into my crochet journey as well, and my just crafting journey in general. I started crocheting during the pandemic, which I feel like a lot of people did. You have lots of time, you have lots of feelings, perhaps, and things that kind of just want to get out. So I started it then, and then I kind of put it down, and then I went through a big life change. I went through a big breakup, and I felt really anxious and sad and scared, and I was alone a lot. And so I picked crochet back up during that time, and it was so critical to my mental health, I think, at that time. And I think a lot of people have a similar story to me as well. I'm gonna link another one that I heard down below if you want to check out. It's another YouTube video, but it really spoke to me, and it was, yeah, just something that brought me calm in a time that was really scary. And having something to focus on and something to care about and something to see progress on really brought me a lot of comfort in that time and helped me work through some of those feelings. It also helps you form community. I have a crochet circle that I go to where I get to talk to people, have social interaction. It gives me kind of a thing to do. I think lots of hobbies are like this, and that's why hobbies are so important, is because it connects you to your community and the people around you. I also think the process of even just like buying yarn it gets you out in your community, it gets you talking to people, it gives you a purpose, it gives you somewhere to go. And so there are things like that are real benefits of crafting. Even when I was making this sweater, I ran out of yarn and I had to go to my local yarn store, and it was just the most perfect day. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was such a nice walk. The woman that worked at the yarn store was incredibly nice, and it's something that I probably wouldn't have done if I didn't do the craft. I wouldn't have made myself go for a walk, and I wouldn't have had that nice interaction. And so I'm grateful for all of those moments that come with crochet and with crafting that bring a sense of connection and just a greater sense of purpose. I think too, sometimes in our professional lives, we aren't finding that very satisfying, or we're doing a lot of work on a computer and you don't see kind of the output of your job. Obviously not for everyone, but for a lot of people that work kind of desk jobs. And having something that I can work on, that I can see the results of, really brings me a lot of creative joy too. So I just kind of wanted to break that down a little bit and kind of tell the story behind this sweater as well. I think it came like I said, at a time that was really sad and was really stressful. And the sweater itself took me 8 weeks to finish, from start to finish. And a lot can change in 8 weeks. Who would have guessed? I feel like that situation and kind of a lot of situations that were happening around that time have resolved themselves, or I've worked through those feelings around kind of that time. And I feel a lot more grounded now. And that's another thing that I like about looking back on your projects, like especially with this one, who I was when I started and kind of where my head was at, and who I am when it ended and where my head is at now are very different. And it gives me peace to know that like that time that was really stressful and really uncomfortable did end. And when that happens again in the future, it will end again. And the sweater is a good representation of the fact that time passes, things change, your outlook changes. Sometimes it doesn't take as little as 8 weeks. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than that. But things will change. And things will change for the better and things will change for the worse. But yeah, the length of time that it takes to work on projects really helps with that kind of meditation on the moment as well. So I think maybe to think about that with some of your projects. If you have some bigger ones, things like blankets, things like sweaters, maybe think about who you were, where you were when you started, who you are, where you are when it ended. Have things changed? And yeah, just having something stick with you throughout kind of that change, I think is really interesting and is a good, using crafts as like a time capsule a little bit. There are some pieces that I look at, pretty much every piece that I look at, and I remember like, oh, I made that at the beach while I was at the cottage, or like, oh, I made that when I was like really having a hard time, and I watched a lot of Wednesday Addams and I wanted to make her sweater or whatever that is. Like, there's almost every project I can think back to the time that I started it and why I started it. And so it's nice to have those kind of time capsule projects as well. But I know that this is a lot of kind of thoughts and musings about a sweater, but I just wanted to put this out there and see how other people feel about this as well. And just about the process of crafting and what that means from an emotional place, because I know it's fun to talk about like, look at this cute sweater that I made, but there is so much more to the story than that. So I thought that I would open up a little bit about why I made this sweater and start a little bit of a conversation about the power of art and emotion and what happens when they come together. But a couple of the crochet details as well, because we can't just talk about the emotional details. I made this sweater using Rosario's For Nature. This cotton here, it's my absolute favorite for wearables, and I used a 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to put the pattern for this granny square, it's just a free pattern, down below if you want to check that out as well, if you're interested to give those a try. I followed a similar sort of construction to my other granny square crochet sweater. I'll put a link to that video up on the screen. This one is a little bit different and made specifically to my measurements, so a little bit hard for me to give you the details to replicate, but I thought I'd at least give you the square, the yarn, and the hook size, so if you're interested, you have all of that information. But I'm really happy with the way that the sweater turned out. I love the fit of it. It was unbelievably tedious. It took a long time. Each square is very delicate. Joining each square is quite difficult as well. You kind of like, to keep its meshy look, you slip stitch and you only join them in the middle of each of the loops. So that took some time as well. But it all kind of funneled back into that meditative practice of feeling those feelings and feeling control. And I think if I had been in a different headspace, I never would have made a project like this, if I'm being honest, because it was so tedious and took so much time and was really mentally demanding. But it was just a perfect storm of circumstance and output. So this is what we're working with, but it's really comfortable. I think it's really beautiful, and it will always remind me of what I was going through at that time and how I kind of got through it and how I will continue to get through it, and how I can continue to use my creative practice to work through my feelings and emotions and have that be a support to me in those times as well. And a good reminder that it's not just making a cute sweater. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. But I wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any thoughts at all about this topic, I'd love to hear about them down below. If you have any connections between why you make the types of projects that you make, maybe a project that helped you through a hard time, or why you started your fiber arts journey. Was it from an emotional place? I'd love to know that as well. But yes, I appreciate you watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.